our midterm budget expectations, and Business Unity South Africa saying it expects the finance minister to announce significant expenditure cuts to keep the struggling economy afloat. Let's speak now to the CEO of Business Unity South Africa, CAS Coovadia, who joins us now. Mr. Coovadia, thank you very much for your time. Let's begin with the news coming through suggesting that the Eskom board has submitted 3 names to the Minister of Public Enterprises. Does that fill you with optimism that leadership stability is being achieved at Eskom?
Hi, thanks for having me. Well, I haven't picked this up yet. I've been in meetings all morning, but if that is the case, absolutely, that's excellent news, because we need to fill the chair vacancy. We need to fill the vacancy of the CEO as quickly as possible with an appropriately qualified person who can actually do the job. And we would urge the minister to expeditiously make a call on this. So yeah, it will bring about greater certainty, which is needed in the organization. Also instills confidence in the organization. And as you know, as BUSA and representing business, we've been doing quite a lot of work on energy, partnering government on this. And this will definitely be a boost to that work we're doing.
Yeah, let's then talk about those expenditure cuts that BUSA is advocating for. In which areas do you think that there needs to be these cuts?
Well, look, in our statement, we haven't honed in on particular areas. What we have said is that it's time to make the hard choices on exactly what we want to prioritize. We cannot have vanity projects anymore. We cannot have expenditure in areas where we can't see any advantages or any gains either at the societal level or an economic level. Where there are increases in expenditure, for instance, like in public sector wages, those have got to remain within the bounds of inflation. We can't have significantly above inflation increases in expenditure. We have also said that, and as the minister has publicly said, that any cut in expenditure will, in his view, be less than what has been returned by departments to National Treasury because they haven't spent those money. So we also need systems in place to ensure that there's more efficient use of the funds we have, and that departments are able to actually utilize funds for the purposes they have been allocated to and account for that. So the message we are sending is that there's no debate about this. We can't continue increasing expenditure within a context of decreasing revenue. And since the February budget, those situations have decreased, actually, have become worse. Our debt to GDP ratio has gone up. And while the Treasury would need to borrow some money to actually fill the gap, we need to do this with circumspection, because the cost of borrowing is going up. And given that we have a sub-investment grade rating, the cost to us will be even more severe. So we're saying that the time has now come to make the hard choices. The minister has indicated that he will make the hard choices, but we are calling on government as a whole to back the minister up, the cabinet to be united in this, and for the president to lead whatever needs to be done to ensure that we begin to stabilize our fiscal situation.
Quickly, before I let you go, you talk about those hard choices that need to be made. Let me remind you that next year, it is an election year, and so there will be a propensity by the governing party to want to appease at least the poorer sections of the country. Let's talk about the strong advocacy that seems to be coming for a basic income grant. Some groupings even putting a figure to it to say 1,300 or 1,400. Do you think that there is going to be money for that?
I don't think so. In fact, it's not what I think. There is no money for that. We have on top of that moves by the governing party to have the national health insurance, an additional 200, at least 200, but probably closer to 400 billion rand per year to use on that. We don't have the money, and it's not the way we should be doing things. We shouldn't be talking about where government can put in more money where money isn't available. We should be talking about how does government and the private sector work together so that we can also use resources across the board to actually achieve what we want to achieve as a country. And this is the work we're doing in partnership with government on energy and logistics, on crime and corruption and so on. We need to have a totally different mindset. I fully understand the question you're asking me. In the run-up to elections, there'll be populist sort of moves and populist decisions being taken. Well, I think that government needs to show leadership here under the president and hold the line, and difficult as it may be politically with the governing party, but we need to put country first and not party first right now.
CAS Coovadia, thank you very much for your time.